And the Word was made flesh felt vaguely incoherent, and would have felt totally incoherent if I hadn't have had a brief plot description of it prior. When a scientist finds a cocoon, a woman emerges from it. She's being chased by two faceless monsters who are collecting specimens for a museum. Now, you can find that on IMDb. I had little idea where this film came from, who it was made for, whether it was a totally independent project or intended for wider commercial distribution. And so I've decided to search for more info about its context. Here we go. I found this information about the film on ostlit.edu.au, linked from a biography of its director, Dusan Marek. The second experimental full-length film by Czech-born, Australian-based surrealist Dusan Marek, following from 1967's Cobweb on a Parachute. Haven't seen it, have no idea how to access that one, it seems. According to Alex Gerbaz in Innovations in Australian Cinema, And the Word Was Made Flesh, contains no dialogue or voiceover narration, except for a brief prologue statement. The tone is lighter than Cobweb, but the series of events is more intricate and bizarre. One of the most striking shots, repeated with variations, shows a bearded anthropologist driving and falling down sand dunes, filmed in reverse. He seems to be falling up instead of down. The camera's poetic use of framing in space, its exploration of the nooks inside empty houses, and its occasional unexpected movements from side to side help create a compelling visual style. The music, while used sparsely, adds a rich texture, a flute and guitar melody in a strange scale that starts up suddenly to indicate madness or obsession. A percussive tune of rattling bottles and light bells accompanies the pursuit of the anthropologist by two faceless men. Occasionally, the film evokes Woman in the Dunes, Teshigahara 1964, with its desert landscape, erotic, abstract images of locking bodies, minimalist avant-garde music, and intermittent shots of spiders and insects. In his overview of Australian and New Zealand horror films, Robert Hood says of And the Word Was Made Flesh, a surrealistic experimental film intended to show, according to Marek, a man's attempt to retain his inside freedom and not be molded by the outside. A scientist finds a cocoon, an idealized woman comes out of it. She is harassed by two faceless monsters who are collecting specimens for a museum. She and the scientist make love on a vast stretch of sand while a killer stalks them. Make sense of it if you can. If you can indeed. Someone may be watching this thinking it will be an underrated classic. Good luck, but I don't think the film is without merit. When watching it, I was intrigued, waiting for it to get going. It was more afterward when my feelings of disappointment or emptiness emerged. A decent effort at something original, but apparently originality is not always entirely compelling. Originality is dubious in this case. The bare minimum is a more apt descriptor here.